Back in Torrevieja, and yeah, we've got some news and we've got some warnings as well. Quite a few warnings if you come into different parts of Spain. And also we've got the illegal care home down in Murcia. So we've got a lot of news to wrap up on this morning, and we're going to take a walk around Torrevieja, up along the promenade. A little bit overcast, temperatures have actually dropped, and we're expecting a bit of rain next few days. So it's still a bit unsettled, and we've had some great weather, as you know. But it's only April, and we're expected this kind of weather this time of year, and it won't be long, and the summer will definitely be here to stay. So as you know, this is the famous little square here, Plaza Constitución, and yeah, next week we're going to be having all the Semana Santa fiestas going on all around Spain. But if you're thinking of going down into Benidorm, as you're probably aware, there's been a lot of bad press at the moment to do with a Red Lion pub down on the strip. And a lot of the locals and holiday makers are making all kind of reports. They've been beaten up, allegedly, by the bouncers, and for no reason apparently. And this has been going on for quite a while, and the locals do steer away from this area of the strip, because it's not only the Red Lion but other bars in the area where they're literally just bullying people for no reason. This is what it's reported in all the press in Spain and back in the UK, after a woman was recently kicked on and punched and thrown out and left internal bruising, and the police didn't really do anything, and it actually hit the headlines here in Spain. And it's actually now, the press are involved, that it's actually been acted upon by the local police, and they're doing an investigation. So yeah, the Red Lion in Benidorm, and it has got a bit of a reputation, and yeah, the locals all over the social media groups in Benidorm are really giving it a good slagging off. But it's just not that part of the Benidorm they're worried about. They're talking about another part just round the corner to the Red Lion, which is not safe at night, and it's actually known as Muggers Alley, and all the locals know. But if you're there for an holiday, it ain't very good. And apparently a couple that was staying at a hotel there was actually recording what was going on a phone. She's actually posted these clips online as well, and even named the alleyway, which is just off Calle Girona. It's right by the Magic Villa Hotel, and that's where she was staying. And this little alleyway, this is where they all know, all the locals know, steer well clear of it. And even the police are warning the tourists and people living here to steer clear of it. And they're saying even though they put a lot of presence there and clear them away to deter them and arrest them, he said in no time they go back down there and they're up to old tricks again. They can't believe it, because it's literally just meters away from the local police station. But the problem they have is the local police station is closed in the evening and also closed on the weekends. So if you do have any problems with crime there, you can't even pop into the local police station. So this Muggers Alley is pretty bad. And she recorded exactly what was going on. And this is the picture of the grim little alleyway. And it's actually mainly women that are actually doing this mugging, and they're congregating in the alleyway. And of course, if you're on your own, this is where they push you, and there's lots of reports where people have just been cuddled up and had their wallets snatched. And yeah, even the women have had their bags stolen. They actually literally just grab hold of them by their shirt. And they've got clips of this, and the woman's posted it from her hotel balcony, put it all over social media, where they've just seen people being grabbed and pulled to the side, had their stuff stolen. They even chucked the water over the balcony to stop them doing it and screamed to warn people. But even though the police are well aware of this, their answer is, we can't be there all the time. We've stepped up patrols, but just warning people to stay clear. So yeah, of course, Benidorm has got a good reputation for the bars, restaurants, and all the entertainment you can get free in the places down there, all through the night, stags, ends and do's. But the problem is, it's not really a safe place to actually live, especially if you're talking around the strip. If you're up on the old town, yeah, nice down the old town, pretty safe. But when you're up by the new bit, you're up around the strip and all that, you know, you've got them all drunk and lager louts and all kind of noise and racket going on. And it's, yeah, opportunities for all the crime. And it's obviously, as you know, it's got a bad reputation for drugs. So yeah, a lot going on down there, and there's a lot of warnings, like I say, all over social media. Stay well clear of the strip and the Red Lion, I don't know if you've been to Benidorm, I don't know what you think of the area, but as you can see down here in Torrevieja, nice and calm, quiet, no one walking around with their shirts on, no one drunk. It's a lot more sober. Before we talk about the next story of the Chinese restaurants, a big warning there. Crime, as you know, is everywhere, but in Torrevieja it is a lot safer. You've got lots of different police forces here in this area. You've got the civil guard, you've got the local police, and you've got the national police all floating around. And a lot of people just don't report the crime online anymore because the police just don't turn up. And the reason why they don't turn up, they haven't got enough police to police the city. As you know, Torrevieja Costa there is full of Brits mainly, and it's along the coast. They call it the neglected part of Spain, even though you've got some nice beautiful beaches and bars and restaurants. Okay, the crime is bad down there, but no way as bad as Benidorm, down that muggers uggers alleyway. Like I say, nicking a man's wedding ring, yeah, you don't get all that. All right, you might get your odd chain snatched, but the crime is increasing, and the answer to the police is we just don't have enough police to cover the amount of people living on the coast. Our Spanish Federation here, the provinces, recommends that for one police officer for every 667 people that actually live on the Torrevieja Costa. Problem is, there's over 30,000 people, so they should have at least 45 police officers, and they're way short of that. And they currently have around about 23 police officers on the coast, no civil guard present or the national police, and a lot of them are the police that get drafted in from Torre de la Mata, which we were filming yesterday, which is a nice part of Spain. Up on the promenade, you see, look, cats everywhere, but it is illegal to feed the cats here in Spain, the strays. But as you can see, this couple here are going to feed them, and you do get a lot right up this end of the harbour. Yeah, we'll get back on with the police situation, and certain areas, I mean, they're overloaded with police compared to Torrevieja Costa. And in La Nucia, they've a population of 18,000, but they've got 220 CCTV cameras in operation. And they were asked to put them in about 2 years ago to put them up on the coast here in Torrevieja Costa, but they got turned down. And it ain't illegal to have these CCTV cameras, you've just got to get permission. But the Torrevieja Costa, in Torrevieja Costa, all around there, all the areas, wanted to put some up, but they got turned down. They weren't allowed. But yet some areas they give permission, which is very strange, considering we're lacking police down on the Torrevieja Costa. It's all down to the government, Alicante province, to allow it, and they don't want to allow cameras. So yeah, the problem still goes on. And of course, as you're aware, there are 3 different police forces I did mention, and they're all designed to do different things. The difference between the police and the civil guard in Spain, they have different multiple types of tasks to do, and they're all governed. It's all to do with the historical development and the need to address the Pacific region on function responsibilities, what they've got to carry out. The national police primarily, you know, operates just in the cities and urban areas, and they're responsible for the crime investigation, organised crime, you know, all the drugs, immigration, terrorism, all that kind of thing, and oversees the passport stuff and all national security measures. Wow, them waves are choppy, aren't they? Whew. And then you've got the civil guard, and they operate just in the rural areas, smaller towns, highways, and their main responsibilities is to do with traffic control, of border security, and the national infrastructure. And they also work on organised crime and terrorism, but have a bit more stronger presence than the urbanised regions. And then you've got, lastly, the local police in the local areas, and they just focus on just like law enforcement, same again, traffic, bit of road safety, and local regulations are enforced that you're carrying out all what you're supposed to be doing and what you're not supposed to be doing. Ensure you're not breaking any rules, and people are in bars are registered and everyone's on the books and no one overstaying. So yeah, that's the local police. Wow, I've just spotted someone out there in the sea there with these choppy waves. Must be off their head. Wow. The other day the police had a bit of a result because they did stop a car going down the wrong way, which is a few days ago actually, just here in Torrevieja. It was going down the wrong way on a one-way road, and the police spotted it, pulled over the occupants of the car, done a little routine check, and they couldn't believe what they found. They found a kilo of pink cocaine, ketamine, that was in the vehicle, in the old glove box. And then they asked to produce the driving licence. He pulled a licence out. Wasn't his, it was all doctored up. It was a Colombian and the other bloke was Colombian. It turned out they were right into a big drug operation here in Torrevieja, and the police later done more house arrests and seizures, and yeah, ended up arresting about 7 people. And they're all Colombian here in Torrevieja, and they're carrying out all these drug operations, and they managed to seize thousands of pounds worth of euros and everything. So yeah, another bust by the police. Yeah, ages of these people were around about 35 years of age, and yeah, there was even women involved in this as well. They ended up seizing 150 grams of this cocaine, 2,500 euros, and yeah, a load of things on files for the cars they were driving offences. So yeah, looks like they're going to be going down for a long, long while. But meanwhile, there was a big bust up in Murcia, in a care home run by an English couple just on a farm. We're running a British guest house in La Machica, and yeah, the elderly woman that was hospitalised really bad, she had to be treated for a condition, and that's what alerted authorities. And in this village down just up the other side of Cartagena, and this is where she was running this illegal nursing home. Wasn't licensed, she's been running it for years, and yeah, profiteering. They had no experience apparently, as it says. And yeah, this 84-year-old woman was in such a bad way, dehydrated, kidney failure and everything. When she actually got rushed to the hospital there, that was when it opened a can of worms. Yeah, they run this this guest house, nursing home kind of place. And it was person, it says here, on a farm. Yeah, they run this guest house, nursing home, on a farm. Doing it for the last 7 years, 2018, even without a licence or any experience. There were other properties on this farm, a bar and a little restaurant and everything. They were getting all their business from the social media sites, advertising 32 years of experience. And apparently they had goats, dogs and cats all running around in this place. And it was when the hospital ambulances were rushing out, they said every time they got there, they knew they had problems. Everyone was in a wheelchair with breathing aids and everything. I know they did report it, but the local police never followed up on it. So yeah, it went on for more years without being detected. But yeah, this English couple are in big, big trouble. Just before we get on to the old Chinese restaurants in Spain, I'm going to warn you about, there is a story going around why a lot of these Chinese Chino stores, they're dotted everywhere, as you know, they sell everything as little as €1. Cheap as chips, get everything in them, can't you? Anything you want, go into Chino stores, and yeah, it's like a dollar store, isn't it? Hey, you get everything in there. Yeah, you get everything in there you want. But apparently they've been closing down little by little, and the problem is there's no demand for them anymore. Since COVID, it's all slowed down. People's financial situations change, and not much money around with all the bills creeping up. And they're slowly been dying down, and they're all closing. They reckon it's to do with the business rates as well. So a lot going on. Of course, a lot of people now, as you know, during COVID times, using AliExpress and Timo, and they're getting all these things shipped here in Spain. Of course, you don't pay no import tax because of the old deal the old government have. Old Sanchez, it's not like old Trump's doing, ruining everything all over the world. Yeah, but here in Spain, old Sanchez, yeah, is on good terms with China and have a good deal. They've just reneged on another deal. So yeah, everyone's getting all these things online now. That's actually killing off all these Chino stores. I think a lot of them are reinvesting in Chinese restaurants. And that is what we're going to be going on to next. If you're thinking of having a Chinese in Spain, I want all the Peking duck, especially if you're going up into Madrid, because yeah, the reviews of this Chinese restaurant were outstanding, and everyone loved this restaurant in Madrid. And yeah, something nasty was going on, and we got some pictures to show you, because it had to be closed down by the cops. And a simple reason why, when people were ordering a Peking duck, they weren't getting no Peking duck, they were getting a pigeon. So the roast duck ended up being a street pigeon. Here you go, your next lot of Peking duck. And yeah, it was so bad, this Chinese restaurant, when they raided it and closed it down. Got a picture there, how bad it was inside. But yeah, we're going to be showing you pictures as well, what they were doing with a Peking duck as well. And yeah, well, allegedly Peking duck, it was a pigeon. And they got it drying out on clothes. The restaurant was called Jingu Restaurant in Madrid's district. And yeah, it was raided by the police, and they found over 300 kilograms of rotten food with disgusting conditions. And that's why it had to close down. There were vermin everywhere, absolutely disgusting. So you never know what's behind that door when you're sitting in that little posh restaurant. And this place had good reviews. It got to the stage where people were getting upset stomachs and being ill and going to hospital. The local authorities got alerted about this place, which actually come to discover what was going on. If you ordered a Peking duck and they never had any, they'll quickly go out on the street, grab a pigeon, and off they go. All the fridges in the place weren't working, they're all faulty. So yeah, loads of health issues. I mentioned all the cockroaches that are running all over the floor. Actually, the old place stunk, and all their pots and pans, everything was just rusty. And yeah, you could see by the pictures how bad the place was. If you thought that was bad, just having a few street pigeons, they actually discovered a lot more other things that were prohibited. So, you know, in old China, they eat monkeys and dogs, don't they? Well, they were finding marine stuff in the restaurant as well. And they come across some illegal items such as sea cucumbers, which is one of the strict marine laws, as well as other marine hidden kind of things that were tucked away on shelves. So basically, the old place was a major health hazard, and wouldn't advise to go to that Chinese restaurant if it gets back open in Madrid. But yeah, don't just happen here, of course. And I know a story, but I'm not going to mention the Chinese restaurant. And there's two cases I know of that people have got home and they found a cockroach in their rice. And two different occasions a week apart. So that's only the people I know. So how many other people have come across that problem in the area? So yeah, and the last person ended up going in and throwing it back in their face. So yeah, cockroaches you can't help, but you've got to make sure it don't get in the food, and you've got proper measures to make sure you don't get any in your restaurant. So yeah, a lot of people just vote with their feet and don't go back. So how many cockroaches have been in people's dinner? So yeah, of course it don't just happen in Chinese restaurants, it happens in all restaurants. It can happen in Indian restaurants. So yeah, you're going to have to be careful where you eat anywhere in the world. But as you know, Spain's a very hot country, and we are prone to cockroaches and street pigeons. So yeah, that's today's news on the Costa Blanca. Lots of warnings. So let me know what you think about the old Benidorm situation. People getting beat up in a red line allegedly by the bouncers. And a lot of cases being reported, and it's all over the news. And I don't know what you think of Benidorm, but it ain't my cup of tea. Not as nice as it here on the old Costa Blanca, Torrevieja, as you can see. Playa del Cura beach, nice and calm. Exercises in the morning, no drinking. If you know any stories about unhealthy restaurants here in Spain where you've come across some cockroaches. And by the way, if you appreciate the video and you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee down in the links in the comment section. Just click on it, and if you want to become a member and see all my videos before they go live, you can do that. We've got plenty of members and we've got plenty of people buying me coffees. Really appreciate it. And if you never saw yesterday's video, you need to check that one out down in Torrevieja Costa. Absolutely beautiful place. From Cockroach City, it's hasta luego.